Hi, this is Rio for Life, Kim D, and I'm here to give you an update on what I've been up to. April 30th, 2026, I decided to get 3 LLCs, start the process of getting the EINs, because you can only apply for one a day under the format I was using, and then get 4 bank accounts, one for the holding company, one for operating transit, one for payroll transit, and one for the directory. And then slowly start putting it out there to the public, and in a lot of ways to myself. I had a solid plan. I knew exactly what I'm doing. And here I am. I don't know, today's 14th, 15th. I mean, I'm 2 weeks in. And I have a foundation phase checklist that I've been operating off of. And also this kind of remind me what I'm doing. It's CHKN Run, your startup journey at a glance. And so this is what I'm going to be sharing with you. Phase 1 is idea vision. Phase 2, model formation. 3, operational design. And 4 is real world activation. 5, launch ready. 6, live operations. 7, stabilization. 8, scaling. I'm halfway to launch ready right now. And that was, before all of the stuff that I've accomplished recently. So I am in real world activation. I'm no longer planning. I'm actively building a functioning operation. So I'm going to share with you what I've done right. I decide things quickly. I move from idea to action without getting stuck. I simplified the model, focusing on just one vehicle, one route, keeping things clear and controlled, and really being able to allow time for the concept idea to show the results that I know will happen. But me knowing and other people seeing, that's 2 different things. And these things have different timetables. So I entered the real world early. Calls, emails, brokers, city council meetings. This is rare. This is experience. This is 30 years of me working for major corporations and doing all of this for them. This is experience. Only being directed to what I care about the most. And that is this little area, these four cities. I think, I tightened up my communications. Instead of being broad, I've become very precise about this. It's a spot placement only. There's only certain areas that certain people are even going to be interested in knowing. So I'm not going to, waste my time or theirs giving them this big broad view. Instead, being able to tailor my approach to the intended resolution or information exchange that needs to happen or that happens. It's different. It's very different when you start being precise. I think in systems, not tasks. Okay, route, payment, drivers, insurance, all working together. All right, these are some hard truths. These are my criticisms and my growth. Sometimes I move faster than systems stabilize. Now, because of this, I build really fast, and things can seem rushed. The hard truth is I'm like 10 steps ahead of myself, and I skip the part where things need to settle. And that's the difference. That's what I've learned. How to let things settle. I can now pause and confirm and not just create. This is why this is going to be successful. I had to look at these and recognize them, accept them, figure out how to be at peace with it, and change aspects of it. So each of these 4 things, I have already had so much immense growth pattern over the last 6 months. This next one, yeah, I reach for better when good enough is ready. Yeah, that has always been a thing. And the hard truth is it delays the motion. It really just causes things to just stall. And my thought is, if it's not perfect, it could fail. Without realizing that it's not about any of that. There are ups and downs in all of anything, especially in business. And you cannot look at it as failure or success in that mindset. When I say this is going to be a success, I am implying that this is a well thought out, methodical operation system that has been created. And that is why it will be successful. The other things that the monetary side, there's so many other sides you could look at success. For me, it's the operational and the safety of it, and the knowledge of what I have built. And to know that it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to start. One vehicle, one route, 4 stops. There we go. Oh, I can carry too many threads at once. Oh, we all know. If you know me, you know me. It's like I've got a million things going on when really all it is one Monopoly board. And it's like each square, like Chicken Run is yellow. There's the transit is one space, the directory is another, and then the membership club, which is yet to be, that's another spot. And then the little things in between, like projects in them, are the houses and hotels. And then I have another one for Face It, You're Human. I have one for seminars. I have one for books. I have one for whether or not to do an online program or email program. But for someone who wants to really dive into Face It once they discover it, that's another set. Boardwalk is now me. Kim Heye, Real for Life. That is, I am it. That's it on Monopoly. And in between Boardwalk and Park Place, you got luxury tax. Man, that's my reminder that everything costs money. And the things that are important you're going to do, and you're going to spend your money on what's important. Park Place is fun, relaxation, joy. Park Place became fun, where I can explore a different mindset or a different activity. And so every single thing, the utilities, it's all been renamed. And when I want to do something, I have my own private Monopoly board, and I just roll the dice and go, okay, let's do a little bit with this. So as all of this starts rolling out in the next, this is the first, I do have my Face It Your Human book. I've got chapter 1 done. I don't have a timetable on anything other than the transit and the directory. I have to have the core. And so I'll share more of that Monopoly board as I start doing it because, I really have to stay focused on this. But I do want to let you know there is so much more. But it's all just like this. It's a well thought out, well planned out, and in its time, it'll be a well introduced format. So that's how I handle, too many threads. I just have my one or two priorities. I can, like I did just then, I can vary a little, but that's just the broad strokes. You don't need anything more. Let's go to number 4. I occasionally shift focus midstream. Oh, as you have seen already. This is part of me. It's part of a personality trait. And the hard truth about it is to start over when I'm mid-thought. It just, it slows down it feels like it slows everything down because it's just like my might say it better another way, or I mean it's like a distraction. It's vocalizing, or it's deflecting in a way, a discomfort that I've discovered about myself. And my growth is finishing what I start and then redirect with purpose, instead of having to interrupt all kinds of things all the time. Now, in this format, as I'm introducing this and sharing, I'm going to bend some of those little rules I've created for myself to help me keep focused. But that's the joy of having this little casual format here for YouTube. Okay, my edge right now is I'm not guessing. I'm testing, I'm refining, and I'm moving. This puts me ahead of most people at this stage. Okay, my new set point is replace the thought, there's still a lot to figure out, with I'm finishing a system that's ready to run. It's not a lot to figure out, but I'm finishing what's needed. Totally changes the direction on where my priorities lie, and it's just a simple little change. Because it almost means the same thing when I read them. But it's a new set point. Replace this with that. So, yeah, I'm finishing a system that's ready to use. Traps to avoid. Just one more improvement before launch. And I added lunch because that kind of gets a little of that perfectionism out of me at the same time. The only thing that can slow me down is me trying to make more improvements. Yeah, no, I've got this. I mean, I do. This is just, there's nothing that can slow me down right now, because nothing needs to be fast and nothing's happening fast. I'm really working on a July start date, launch date. I'm not going to push a June date because I really want to be secure with my community. And this is just now something that they're being introduced to. And so I want to allow the time. And I have a grant to apply for that, I'm working with other people with the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And there's a lot of things moving in that direction for future, not immediate funding, but definitely for future things to be able to stabilize all of this. Now, balance, the things to balance is overthinking, constant change, perfectionism, trying to control everything. Yeah, getting a good balance on that has really helped. Decisive actions. controlled adjustments, working system. Oh, so sorry. And test, refined, improve. And let's see, too little. Yeah, it talks about, it's not a broken system. That's not the word it's, it's a gap. There's nothing broken in our system, in our transportation. All this is a gap. And so there's nothing that anybody's done right or wrong. It's just I found a way to fill the gap and I'm able to do it. So there you go. That's different, a different way of approaching all of it because so many people could approach it a different way. And then it tells me a little thing of what success looks like. First week of operation, it's just got a cute little thing. Freedom through structure. Systems are in place. Work basically becomes effortless. I don't have mental fatigue. I won't have the chaos. Everything will be, it's an alignment, just basic, a just purpose, moving forward. My journey, my evolution from the Mormon mindset, guilt, fear, rules, seeking approval, never enough, worth tied to obedience, serving a system that didn't see me, and now I've moved into an empowered self, clarity and purpose, self-trust, growth over perfection. My worth is inherent. And serving my community with solutions. I choose truth over tradition. I choose service over shame. I choose my path. I choose my impact. And this was the little thing I had made that I kind of designed, me and ChatGPT, a pro version that I have for a month. This is $200, but it has helped be able to take how my mind works and for me to have my voice, but in a way I can be understood. It's like it translates me. And any of you who've been on a road trip with me or hung out with me long enough to know, yeah, it can be challenging. But I've gotten a lot better over the last 3 years. I've really improved how I see other people. It's been a journey and no regrets. I'd rather have an oh well than a what if. And so there I will find a value in even the negative experiences I had. But wow, what I've learned and to be a part of my own growth and other people's and the people I've met along the way and what I'm doing now and the reasons for it. It just fills this amazing, I don't know, not void. Basically it said it best on I choose my path. I choose my impact. I'm halfway to launch, this is awesome. And so now, here we go. Chicken Run Foundation phase. This is my official checklist for the transit and the directory. Number 1 was entity formation. File the LLCs. Create operation agreements. Document the ownerships. Holding owns both. Step 2, obtaining the EINs. Now these are the things I'm doing later today. Is I've got to do my Minnesota Department of Revenue, my sales tax, and then for the transit, my withholding and unemployment insurance, and then today I just got my quotes for my commercial and commercial auto and workman's comp. So once I've got my funding, where I know how I've figured that out, little by little, there's a full plan in action for all of it. So everything will happen as it needs to happen. But then when I have that, I can just upload that, and then all my federal and state, all the registrations for that part of it will be done. Then next I opened my bank accounts, and I need to do my PayPal for directory, and I need to do a Venmo for the transit. So just a couple things on there. General liability insurance, and then insurance is done. We are legal and insured. Few things on payroll, not a biggie with my experience. Connecting the bank account to my finance, whether I'm using QuickBooks or whatever else I decide to go with. And then making sure I've got my W-4s and all my employee packets for that, for the payroll side. I've already got my policies, pay rates, blah, 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 time tracking. Still looking for bookkeeper, accountant, probably just an accountant because I'm probably just going to send what they need every month. Everything on the intercompany accounting has been done. There were 4 or 5 different documents that I needed. So that way, all of those things are in place that are given to various entities. The accounting system, I have all my GLs. I have everything decided. I just got my rate confirmed of what the QuickBooks with payroll will be. And it's $88 a month, but it's 50% off for 3 months. And so when I'm ready to go, I know what that, and it'll all get hooked up. That'll be kind of one of the final things just before launch. Operations, I have, that's finishing my logo. I have 8.5 out of 10 points on the review on the logo. There's a couple of strong things I have to change. I have 2 different types of, like one's a cartoon that's more clip art, and then the 3 chicks are more cartoons that are more animated and full design. And so, and then the band, I've got different things that there's some details that I need to correct to get that 10 out of 10. So there's that. Then let's see. Contracts. I have most of those agreements done, just waiting for the logo. Transit operations. My driver packet, vehicle inspection checklist, incident report form, route documentation, safety procedures, those are all done. In process are my directory operations because I needed to focus on transit. Now, while I'm here in Arizona, since I'm closer to a stopping point on the transit, and I'll explain that in a second, I'm going to do some work on the directory because I'm here for 2 weeks. So I've got to balance my time. And then it gives my brain something else to focus on for a little bit. When I get back home, finalizing all of everything I've got into my file structure, both my electronic and or paper. Monthly control checklists for accounting, and all that is completed. Bank record, intercompany balance sheet, payroll, blah, blah, expense categorized. Now 14, these are the high risk items. And they're like insurance. Got to have the insurance before any vehicle operates. I have that quote now. Yes. Work comp active before hiring. I have that quote now. Driver classification clearly defined. I have that in my documentation for my transit operations. No commingling of funding. That's explained in the intercompany accounting rules. W-2 classification for drivers. That all is part of my payroll. And so see the high risk things. We are checking those off the list. And then, vehicle acquisition plan, route testing, initial hiring, the directory listing going live, and first business contracts secured. And that's like the designated driver stuff. And so, vehicle acquisition plan. The three things that matter: insurance, vehicles, and stops. Well, we're getting halfway. We're getting there, more than halfway. We're barely halfway. Yeah, 2 out of 4, halfway. Yeah, so vehicles. Secure these, launch, learn, improve, and grow. Focus statement for this part of the project is build the foundation, run clean, scale smart, transit moves people, directory drives revenue. Key reminders: stay compliant, track everything, and document always. Build it right, grow it strong. I built in little yay team kind of stuff into all of mine, even though I'm a team of one. Because I've done that in corporations for departments and companies. And so, yeah, that's just easy to throw in. And it does change the workflow of the project right when you least expect it. Like right now, reviewing and going, okay, I'm after tonight, when I finish section 2, the next time it's going to have so much more green. These yellows. The yellows will be green, and the duns. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 15 sections. And those are huge sections because everything left that's yellow, contracts, create logo, create letterhead. Yeah, that price, merchant marketing, company uniform, done. That's like a half hour. So some of these are just the accounting system. Like I said, I just have to pay for QuickBooks and set up my GL. No problem. And now that I know what it costs, and with a firmer start date, by all means, I'll probably start that up this week and get it all set up. There's no reason to delay doing that part of the manual work. My hands don't do as well as they used to. I've got lots of inflammation. It's probably rheumatoid arthritis, but no blood work. They're treating it with Claritin and Wellbutrin for inflammation. It's interesting the alternate uses other than what they're traditionally used for. And it has helped. And so there you go. I used to do 16,000 keystrokes an hour with less than 2% error ratio. So yeah, data entry in me, oh yeah. Now, as you can see, even now, they don't move as fast, but this is where technology comes in. Things have changed. There's so many ways with AI. it's just unbelievable, the advances that can happen. I'm thoroughly impressed with so many, but you also have to look at it. It's not real. It's a computer. It's a program. It's fallible. There's yeah. But right now, it's like my sign language interpreter. It's translating the world to me and me back to the world. And I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. I don't feel uncomfortable sitting here talking to you right now. The only thing that makes me a little uncomfortable is I know my lighting really sucks. But I reduced my travel stuff so that I was under 35 pounds in my carry-on. Before, I had too much YouTube type equipment that I wasn't using. So I had to scale way back. And I took my ring light out with my holder and everything. The stand I have right now is the one where if I'm moving, it'll follow me. And so it doesn't really set up very good in this room with this light. But I can fix it tomorrow. But I had to get this going. I had to share this because, MnDOT, I have my checklist. It's all ready. It's done. But then what happened was I applied for a scholarship for this ILT Academy. And I think it's I Love That or I Love This. And it's the one I got, it's a $3,000 scholarship. And what I'm going to be doing starting June 4th is an 11-week intensive for serious entrepreneurs boot camp called the 100 series. And it's an intensive AI. It's going to be what helps me say what I want to say about the chicken run, about Chisholm, Hibbing, Keewatin, Nashwauk. It's going to give me all the tools I need to make that YouTube channel and the episodes I do there truly represent not my transit, not listings on a directory, but the area itself. And it's already on the map. I don't have to do anything. I just want to tell people about it. But I want to do it in a way that's really professional. And so winning this scholarship and having this opportunity to spend 11 weeks fine-tuning the next step, because the transit, like I said, is solid. This brings me forward with what I really want to do and how I want to live my life, because I'm creating something that when I'm away from my hometown, like in the winter, this coming winter, maybe not being there the whole time, coming down to Arizona, I can still stay connected. I can still run my business. I can still live out this life I've created out of this authentic person that was always there. And that's what's wonderful. I didn't do anything new. I just got all of the Mormon stuff out of my head, at least the good enough parts I kept, and changed and have boundaries, and being able to talk to city councils and to be able to have the conversations I've been having these last 2 weeks with state employees and with, beginning to get down to the local business people. That's going to take time. This is a community and that, yeah, we're nice and trusting, but we're change is different, and this is going to be a change. So I continue to look for my community's support and how do I put it? It's not just their support. I want to know what kind of works for them. I want their ideas. I want to be able to do that as far as what the transit and my purpose for that is. That's exciting. One vehicle, one route, 4 stops. So, vehicle acquisition. Let's talk vehicle. Ultimately, it's going to be 10. So it's going to be the max I can have on my insurance because it's not a fleet. Anything over 10 will make me a fleet. So I'm going to have really, really good management, or at that level, really have some different partnering with local transit, because that would be a good time to say, hey, maybe this could, maybe the bigger vehicle and maybe the systems they have in place can better adapt in the future. But right now, this is perfect. So see, that's later. So now we are talking 10 to 12 passenger, lightweight, non-CDL vans. Okay, that is what I'm looking for. 1. Got to start with 1. Ultimately, 10. So that's what I'm putting out here into the universe. Okay. I can apply for whatever type of loan if I find one. I'm going to try and get pre-approved for an auto, but it's different when you're buying it for commercial. I got to figure a couple of things out, how that works. But yes, I need 1 vehicle, but I'll need more. But I'm starting with 1. A couple I found that they look, I don't know, looking at the second one now, was 14,000. I think it was a 2017 at 158K, and I'm like, I had to start with that. I guess I could start with that, but we'll figure it out. Me and the world. But that's how it starts, because I got insurance. I got a quote. But that costs money. It's $1,100 that gets me started, and then $830 a month after that. And that's not including general liability. That's just that portion. So I've been figuring out, and with the funding that I want to apply for with grants and the different supports and things that I'm aware of for the future, I just want to get there. So I've come up with basically looking for 5 investors of 25K with a 1.5 ROI and approximately a 12-month delayed payment and milestone marker to begin payments versus a date. Or it could be a mixture, because I'm still working out that. And then if this were super successful and somebody wanted to buy it for $10 million, I was asked, what would you do for your investor? And I was like, oh, well, that's very easy. Right now, I don't know what the GL would actually be called, but whatever the amount in that GL at the time of sale, I would double it. Because if I'm selling, I'm not just giving them their 1.5, I'm going to double it. And then working out, RBF and DRIP and all these other ways where when an investor gets down to, 500,000, whatever kind of lower end, there's the DRIP options and ways to reinvest it into the company. And a lot of people just, they do that, or they add a whole new investment on top of it. They've got their return, they want more in. I'm going to make that process as easy as possible, and already have the beginning of the contracts and the different information so that everyone is protected. Because with having 5 investors of 25K, that gives me a solid way to be able to cover my payroll, be able to cover my insurance, to be able to slowly add the vehicles and routes to become the full unit. That's got a whole plan in place. I've got, let me see. It's right here. Let me reach over. My little master program book. I have a handout that I've given to the councils, and someone had asked me, they said, well, how much would you need? And I'm like, well, let's just put, I'm going to tell you how to allocate $1 million. You want to see how I'd allocate 100,000? It's going to be the same as how I would allocate the million. And so there we go. I broke down my funding and how I'd allocate it. The ultimate service map, the full version of it. Well, it doesn't have all the connectors. It has the first 3. Because I have 2 communities, Buck Lake and Kelly Lake, that have already asked. And then the Scanlon one is my personal favorite, because that gets me to the airport without my friends having to take 3 hours out of their life to take me somewhere. So that solves a lot of problems. And then the Chicken Run directory and how the proceeds of it roll in to cover gaps in the transit company. So I'm not just looking, for it to be funded. I'm self-funding through other avenues built in. The vehicle and staffing plan, it's phased in, 3 different phases, 1 to 3 months, 4 to 5, and then 6 to 12. And the full is 10 vehicles, 20 to 25 drivers. And remember, I'm paying my drivers $20 an hour, all my employees. I'm going to definitely hire 2 part-time people, preferably college students that are headed into some kind of advertising or whatever, or need different kinds of credits in order to graduate, or, they want a different experience or need money to help with the advertising part of the directory, what I'm going to be doing the 11-week boot camp for. Remember, I don't want to work. I'm a good manager, owner. I'm done working. This is the world I want to be in. And I'm a really good boss, so there's that. Then it's got the revenue model. There's 5 pillars for sustainability in this revenue model. We've got the riders. $4 a ride. $10 for a 7-day consecutive pass. $39 for a monthly pass. For businesses, churches, people could buy in bulk. Businesses, I'm not just talking general public. Obviously, well, I guess I need to specify, not to be broad about that. And so that helps for a perk they can offer to their employees. And what this does is, it is the baseline of revenue and proof of use. Now, Part 2 isn't rolled out in this. I don't have that LLC. I do have an EIN, but I didn't make an LLC yet. But it's Chicken Run Area Peeps, and that's a membership club. $40 a month. You get a bus pass at $20 a month. And this is where I will utilize the community, where I'm going to rent or sponsor events at Mike's Pub or Palmer's or Jim's or Wizards or Danucci's or Bernie's or A&K's in Keewatin, or who knows where else in Hibbing, just to name a few of the venues that we have available to host events. And I'm talking things like a painting party, where you've got up to 10 people. Or we went to one in Keewatin where we had these like felt hats, and then you decorated them. Wicked fun time. But to be able to take things that they want to do or are already doing, and just kind of centralizing it a little bit. And this way the funds for this, they benefit the club, but it's a sustainability for the whole system, because it's another way a club could hire Chicken Run Transit to take them. Fixed route, scheduled time. It's a simple, easy model that is in it. It just fills a gap. Business contracts, could do employees. Could have a contract where you're picking up for workplace transportation. And these things are like long-term. And events, tourism, theater trips, Wasabi Trail. Somebody wants you to meet to pick up them in their bike halfway through the trail. Yeah, there you go. You've got an option. Let's see, what else did I have on here? Oh, for surge, when there's surge traffic, seasonal. We have a very active July and August. It's pretty awesome. You ever want to come up here? June, July, but July, yeah, July the whole month. And then of course chickenrun.com, the business directory. Yeah, I've got, right now it's just ending up, you have a listing that's just your name, category, and zip code, your city. As I get done with this course, that becomes the big marketable part that just kind of solidifies everything. It's got the 90-day roadmap, it's got investment impact, it's got all the statutes that this fulfills that currently aren't being fulfilled. The main one is 174.24 and 174.22. And I'm very, very proud of our transportation here. And I'm honored to be able to fill this gap, because the more rural areas are more difficult. They are unique. And the funding of this, the goals of this, the connective, everything that's happening with this, it just speaks to just the communities, what it's like living there. I mean, we love it. There are so many people that love it. And there are so many people that also that would want to leave. And I'm equally supportive of helping find a way to help them. It took me a lot of work and research to finally decide where I wanted to land, and here I am, doing and living and growing. I'm not stopping. So, got my Buy Me a Coffee, my Venmo's out there, always has been. All the ways to ever send me money are all there. Your continued support with this YouTube is intensely welcomed. I've really gotten the hang of it now. And that's the other thing, being here. You know, I've got 2 weeks. I got 4 scripts ready to go to get ready, and all of this happened on the 14th getting that scholarship, and then today getting the insurance quotes. And so I was just too excited, and I was too excited. I just couldn't concentrate on doing a script, if that makes any sense. This real life that's happening. And I've never really given you much of a view. You've kind of seen what I've showed the public. And not that this isn't public, but this is different. And I'm working on the ums. I notice them so much more when I'm excited. This is just, it's not even amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It's validating. Every time I felt overlooked, every time I felt dismissed, every phone call I've ever made where I had to lie and say I'm somebody's secretary because I can't get a response as a female. Every setback I've ever had didn't matter on April 30th when I went and got the LLCs. Not a single one of them mattered, positive or negative. They all just seemed to wash away from my emotions and just become a fact. They just became something that is. And that's the way I view so many things on a personal level and in relationships. And, they're just facts of my life now. They don't hold any real weight. There are some that are cherished more than others, I will admit. There are memories I will relive with people I will never have a conversation with. And a lot of it's more on their sides than mine in some cases, but it doesn't matter. It's a respect. It's a respect of them and me. Because there's no one's door that I need to be knocking on. There's no past anything to connect to. It's whatever leads to the future. And it could be the random person that knew me at some point and is like, connects different dots. I don't know who and how these investors are going to be. And they're not all going to be the 25K. Because remember, just like the $1 million, how we can take decimals off. Yeah, we can change this too. Absolutely change the payment plan, everything. Originally what I'd had, 2%, the payments, once they hit milestone, would be for the 5, because that gives me, it's a total of 10% out of my operating, but it'd be 2% of profits monthly. And so it would be, the goal, of course, is to pay it off early. But I anticipate payment would be between the 12 and 24 mark after the initial 12-month grace period. So I just want to kind of specify a couple of those little things now that, and that is an adjustable, I'm going to be working out, based on the investor, and the amount. I mean, it's kind of like Shark Tank, I'm going to look at all the options, but I'm well aware of my goal of the 125K to have a solid start, to put into practice all of the things that are happening now. The grant writing class that I'm taking on the 19th, meeting with my mentor, earning this scholarship, being able to be the person that wants to connect and stay connected with a community. Because remember, one of the things I said, I'm not sure if Chisholm was televised, but see, there I go with an again. I'm on IMDb. I am an actress now. There's a movie studio in Chisholm. And I want to do more auditions, and I want to perform more, and I want to do more. And I car share. So I can't get there when I need to. CHKN Run Transit gets me to an audition, gets me to a rehearsal, gets me to a filming. Now, I love going over to Keewatin for meat raffles. Yes, we have meat raffles here. Charitable gambling. You get these numbers. You open them up. There's like 6 numbers, and one of them will be red. And if that number is called, you are the winner. And then you go pick up this package. They have multiple packages of raw meat. And so you pick out your package. And then there's a drawing for the loser of the loser numbers, a second drawing. And then if that number, you get one of those wooden chips or for a free drink. And so that's the second winner. And there you go. That's meat raffle. And I love going over to Keewatin for their meat raffle. I know there's other places, but that's my favorite. And I can't because of car share. It's harder. Nashwauk Alliance Church is a favorite place of mine. I'm not a member, but I enjoy being there. I'd like to follow up that experience of going to that church with going downtown to Wizards and having their omelets and shooting some pool and just kind of relaxing on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's hard to do. Can't get there. CHKN Run Transit gives me everything to have an active life. Because I plan to be healthy and active, to living in my own home without any assistance till at least 92. A good genetic history that documents that this is fully possible. And so that's where I'm at. That's my mindset. The changes and things I do now get me to 92, to get me where I want to be. And I'm able to do it. And I'm the person to do it. So, put it out there. Share it with the world. Think about it yourself. And yes, this is serious investing. And so, as much as I would love to entertain smaller amounts, and I'm unfortunately going to have to look at those as donations because I have to stay structured and keep things lean. And so it's not that I want to turn anything down. And so we can play around and see what options could be, but that's not my main focus. So my audience is a lot like me, where a lot of us, don't have really much. And see, there I did it again. Ah! It's been an exciting day. That's all I can say. I probably should wrap this up. I've actually been chatting away for about an hour now, which is also new to me, and my voice. I'm still recovering from my COPD flare, and I did do water aerobics this morning, and still adjusting to the 2-hour time difference because we're 2 hours earlier here in Arizona. So I think I'm going to cut this off now, and thank you for being here with me and for your support, because support doesn't have to be financial. Just watching and sharing in my journey, that means something to me too. And I want you to know that it does. It really means something. Very entertaining, but I'm not going to hide my genius anymore. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. And that is something that is I've kept well hidden, and not anymore. There's no need. And it's who I am. It's who I've always been. And now it's where I get to put it into action and add it to the heart that already exists, and to this humanity that it's not about confidence, it's not about fear. It's about face it, you're human. Remember, every breath is another chance, another choice. Get out there and live it. Thanks for being here.